Can you find the square roots of these numbers without a calculator? There is a much faster way. And here is the interesting part. Once you understand the method, you can find square root of perfect squares in just a few seconds. But what about the numbers like 150 or 250, which are not perfect squares? I will show you how to estimate those two without a calculator. By the end of this video, you will know 3 practical tricks for finding square roots without a calculator. Let's get started. Before using any shortcut, you need one basic skill. You should know the squares from 1 to 20. You don't need to memorize hundreds of squares. These basic values are enough to give you the reference points you need. For example, if I ask you for the square root of 250, you should immediately know that's it between 15 and 16. That's already a useful trick. Now, let's make this much faster. Let's start with a perfect square. Remember our challenge, square root of 7225. Instead of trying to guess the entire answer, split the numbers into two parts, 72 and 25. First, look at the last two digits. The number ends in 25. We know that 5 square ends in 25. So our answer must end in 5. Now look at the first part, 72. From our square reference, 8 is the largest number. Square root is below 72. So the first digit is 8. Now we have 85. And that's our answer. 85 squared is 7225. So square root of 7225 equals 85. No long calculation, just two observations. Let's do another one. Square root of 9801. Don't calculate it yet. First split it, 98 and 01. Now let's find the first digit of the answer. Look at 98. From our square reference, 9 is the largest number whose square is below 98. So the first digit is 9. Now look at the last two digits. The number ends in 01. So the root will end in either 1 or 9. This gives us two possibilities, 91 or 99. Now here is the trick to decide which one is correct. Take that first digit 9 and multiply it by the next number 10. 9 times 10 equals 90. Now we compare 90 with the first part of our answer. That's 98. 98 is greater than 90. So we take the higher possibility, 99. That's our answer. Square root of 9801 equals 99. Let's test the trick once more. Take the square root of 5329. Split it. 53 and 29. First find the first digit. From our square reference, 7 is the largest number whose square is below 53. So the first digit is 7. Now look at the last two digits. That is 29. A square ending in 29 gives us a root ending in either 3 or 7. So our possibilities are 73 or 77. Now use the trick. 7 times 8 equals 56. Compare 56 with 53. This time 53 is less than 56. So we take the lower possibility, 73. And 73 square is 5329. So the square root of 5329 equals 73. But what happens when the number is not a perfect square? For example, what if we need to find the square root of 150? We can't use the exact perfect square trick here because 150 does not have a whole number square. Instead, we can use a simple estimation trick. Let's take the square root of 150. First, find the perfect square immediately below the number. For 150, that's 144. Square root of 144 is 12. Now take the difference between our number and the perfect square. 150 minus 144 equals 6. Divide the difference by twice the number root we found. Twice 12 is 24. So 6 divided by 24 is 0.25 and add that to 12 and we get approximately 12.25. So square root of 150 is approximately 12.25. Now let's try one more. Square root of 250. The perfect square immediately below 250 is 225. Its square root is 15. The difference is 250 minus 225 equals 25. Twice of 15 is 30. 25 divided by 30 approximately 0.83 and add that to 15. We get approximately 15.83. So square root of 250 is approximately 15.83. The actual value is about 15.81. So this gives us a very close estimate without a calculator. Okay, your turn. Don't use a calculator. Let's see if you can apply this trick yourself. First, square root of 6400. 3 seconds. Square root of 3916. You have 3 seconds. The answer is 63. And one more. Square root of 200. We know that 196 is 14 square. Using our estimation trick, the answer is approximately 14.14. So remember these three ideas. First, know your basic squares. They give you the reference points you need. Second, for perfect squares, split the numbers, find the first digit, use the last two digits to narrow down the ending, and use the multiplication trick to choose the correct answer. Third, for non-perfect squares, find the perfect square below the number then use the difference to estimate the square root. That's how you can find or estimate square roots without reaching for a calculator. But what if you don't even know whether the number is a perfect square or not? How do you know which trick is to apply? That's exactly we covered in the previous video. I have pasted the link in the description. And in the next video, we will take this one step further and learn how to square two digits much faster. So we will meet in the next video. Bye.